Now at 6, a head-on crash on I-49 takes 3 lives. Plus,
the Cherokee County Commission discusses the legality of elected county officials giving themselves raises. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
And the Neosho Newton County Library invites farmers out to the Missouri Farmers Market Conference.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
3 people are dead following a crash involving a car driving the wrong way on Interstate 49. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. Happened last night in McDonald County, Missouri, near Pineville. Authorities say an SUV was southbound in the northbound lane when it collided head-on with a car. The crash killed all 3 people who were in the 2 vehicles. A 63-year-old woman from Bella Vista, Arkansas, drove that SUV. A 43-year-old man and a 33-year-old woman, both from Kansas City, Kansas, were in the car. All 3 died at the scene. A Kansas game warden takes a suspect into custody after a multi-county pursuit with air support. Happened yesterday, starting in Neosho County and crossing into Crawford County. Started as a vehicle chase, then a crash into a creek, a foot chase, an UTV chase, back to a foot pursuit, ending east of Pittsburgh near 30th and 570th Avenue. Troopers put up air support, and along with the Crawford County Sheriff's Office and Kansas Wildlife and Parks game wardens, they set up a perimeter. Troopers were able to find the 29-year-old suspect from Fort Scott, and a game warden took him into custody. EMS took the man to a local hospital for possible injuries suffered during the crash. Online court documents do not list any active charges at this time. Joplin authorities are looking for a suspect now in a shooting investigation. This incident stems from reports of shots fired in the area of 5th and Joplin back on February 15th. That was shortly after 2 a.m. Officers found no suspects or victims, but at least 2 vehicles and 2 buildings have been damaged by gunfire. Well, now, as a result of the investigation, the Jasper County Prosecuting Attorney's Office has issued a warrant for this man, Andrew M. Reed of Joplin, for multiple charges, including unlawful use of a weapon. Meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney joins us now with a first look at the weather.
Well, it was a beautiful day. We've got a nice little sunset going on out there. Temperatures dropping down through the 60s. We got up to about 67 degrees today, and we had some clouds through the area, though a lot of them were upper level clouds, and they're starting to clear out as we speak. So it's looking like a fantastic night. We've got a nice little ridge, which is a high pressure system. It's setting up just to the west of us, and that's going to be moving into the area tomorrow. So we're going to have another nice, beautiful day tomorrow. Temperatures are only dropping down to about 38 degrees tonight. Winds die down as well. We had a bit of a windier day. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny all day long. Temperatures reaching just about 70 degrees. So it's going to be a beautiful day on Tuesday. Clouds start to increase after 8 p.m. because we do have a few rain showers early in the morning on Wednesday. You can see all the way until about noon, but not really going to disrupt our morning commute too much, but I'm going to have a full look coming up.
See you soon. In a meeting today, the Cherokee County, Kansas Commission discussed whether elected officials in the county could give themselves a raise. This comes after the Cherokee County clerk gave herself a raise of more than $14,000. KOAM Samantha Walker has details.
At a meeting earlier this month, commissioners say they were caught off guard by an unexpected raise given to the Cherokee County Clerk, Rebecca Brassert, an increase of more than $14,000. Commissioners say the elected official had given herself the raise without the commission's knowledge. The clerk has worked with the county for more than 2 decades. We spoke with Brassert, who says she thought she was going through the correct process because it was how other county positions have gotten raises in the past.
We spoke with one commissioner who says in the past, elected officials have given themselves small raises that were approved by the commission in payroll, but they say this raise was so significant and so sudden, with the commission having no prior knowledge of it, that it drew questions of what was allowed.
At the time, commissioners set the clerk's pay back to the amount it had been prior to the new raise, just under $46,000 for the clerk position. Commissioners asked the county councilor to look into what precedent there was for elected officials, like county clerks, granting themselves raises or whether they had to be approved by the county commission. The counselor says the county handbook indicates it's up to the commission to approve salaries. He says he also looked at other cases across the state involving elected officials and changes to their salaries, which also indicate those changes had to first be approved by the county commission. The counselor says, therefore, raises in Cherokee County must be approved by the commission. The county counselor advised the Cherokee County Commission that they should look at setting a resolution that would set salaries for elected offices. He recommends that resolution explicitly say what positions like sheriff, county attorney, and county clerks make. Reporting in Cherokee County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Currently, there are no set salaries. The commission just approves payroll bi-weekly. Commissioners say they're going to look into adopting a resolution setting those elected official salaries within the coming weeks. Missouri farmers, producers, market managers, and operators made their way to the Neosho Newton County Library today. The library hosted this year's Missouri Farmers Market Conference. The annual event provides a way for markets from all across the state to come together and discuss ideas, tips, tricks. Some of the topics this year were issues with parking, pricing, and even whether to allow a lot of bakers or coffee shops in the markets.
Each of these markets probably has, on average, 25, some up to 150 vendors. All of those represent small businesses in each of those communities. So sometimes people think, oh, it's just a small market. When they actually look further, what I see is at some of these markets, 25 to, again, 100 or plus small businesses.
The theme for this year's conference was cultivating community. Folks in Grove, Oklahoma took in a health education event today. Later, we're going to tell you just what they learned. But up first, a museum in Joplin features an exhibit highlighting one of its native sons for Black History Month. As February draws to a close, the Joplin Museum is honoring Black History Month with an exhibit about Langston Hughes. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more about how you can see the display.
A very vibrant Black history for our community.
The Joplin History and Mineral Museum announced its temporary exhibit called Harlem Renaissance and the Renaissance Man.
A exhibit in this room on the Black experience in Joplin through the years.
Bring us all together and hopefully teach everyone something.
It honors Langston Hughes, who was born in Joplin. He was an African-American poet who advocated for racial justice through his writing. The president of the Langston Hughes Cultural Society says he's a crucial part of African-American history and Joplin's history.
It's a big part of especially African-American history, but history for Joplin. I mean, he went on to do great things, and so he's honored several other places, but this was his birthplace. This was home.
Great insight into these two great men who really kind of pushed the art world.
The exhibit also highlights his friendship and collaboration with Gordon Parks, an influential photographer who documented the civil rights movement in the 1960s, capturing photos of leaders like Martin Luther King Jr.
Traveling exhibit that is being produced by the Gordon Parks Museum out of Fort Scott. And we have a copy of it here that talks about the friendship between Langston Hughes and Gordon Parks, two of the bigger names from the Harlem Renaissance movement.
Hawes says her group is working on turning Hughes's birthplace into a memorial.
His birthplace over on Joplin Street into some kind of like poetry garden or something like that for people to come and just spend time and be in the moment and remember Langston for the poet that he was.
Reporting in Joplin, Melissa Alexis, KOAM News.
Now, while Black History Month does end this week, the exhibit does not. Visitors can still learn about Langston Hughes' life and work through April 30th. Might want to check it out. A little bit later, baseball season's in full swing for some area colleges. John Dales has the latest from the Gorillas and Lions coming up in.
And we've got a warm week plus some rain chances in the forecast. I'm going to talk about that right after the break. Even though it's Monday, it was a beautiful day outside and I hope everyone got to enjoy it. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Joplin from the Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. We've got some upper level clouds, but overall, mostly clear skies as we head into this evening. Now temperatures today got up to the upper 60s. So we're about 10 degrees above average where we should be this time of year. And our low was about 10 degrees above average as well. So we're a little bit warmer than we should be, but I'm not going to complain about it. I'm very happy. It's been beautiful, warm, sunny outside. Our low again only got down to the 40s today, got up to the upper 60s, and tomorrow reaching nearly 70 degrees. So let's dive right in. We've got some clouds pushing just past Joplin now. Few upper level clouds overnight, but overall it is going to be a very nice clear night. Got a little bit of fog developing Miami out in Oklahoma, Veneta, and very far southwestern Missouri and even into Arkansas as well. But it's not going to be a big disruption, and it clears out by about 8 a.m. Now our low again tonight getting up to the upper 30s, but by the high for the day we're getting into about 70 to even pushing 71 degrees. Now Parsons about 68, Northern Counties Yates Center about 65, Nevada 64, so 60s to about 70, 71 degrees, looking pretty nice and sunny skies. We got winds out of the south, so we stay pretty warm all day and into Wednesday. Now we've got clouds pushing in late Tuesday night, and then a front moves in pretty early on Wednesday. So we've got this little cold front moving through Wichita, Yates Center. That's where our boundary is, about 5 a.m. As it pushes in, we see the potential a few showers popping up right along that boundary. It's not going to be a big disruption to your morning commute on Wednesday, though. A few light showers with not high accumulation amounts, but the rest of us, if you're not going to see any rain showers, you are going to see just clouds, mostly cloudy day on Wednesday, clearing out by later in the evening around 7 p.m., which we don't get the chance to see the sun as much on Wednesday. But don't worry, because we'll be back to sunny skies as we head into Thursday, with our low again dropping down to the mid 30s, about 35 to 36 degrees for the overnight low Wednesday night and into Thursday. Now, like I said, we're not seeing a lot of accumulation with this, just a little strip there in our central and northern counties as those light showers pass by. Outside of that, it's going to be pretty windy ahead of some of the fronts that are moving through. Starting Tuesday evening with wind gusts out of the south, 15, 20 to 25 miles per hour, even far out in Yates Center, Iola, about to 30 miles per hour. Winds die down pretty quickly in the overnight hours, and then that front pushes through, so winds out of the north and shifting up to 20, 25 miles per hour throughout the day. Now that continues until early Thursday morning, but the rest of the day on Thursday is looking good. But we've got another very windy day on Friday ahead of another front that's going to be moving through on Saturday. Wind gusts start pretty early, about 7 a.m. with winds gusting out of the southwest up to 45 miles per hour, even in some areas, especially out Stockton, Nevada, Fort Scott area, possibly getting up to 50 mile per hour wind gusts. The rest of us about 35 to 40 miles per hour. Now that front does pass late Friday afternoon into early Saturday morning. It is going to be a dry front that we're going to see some clouds kind of pushing through. And then on Saturday, winds out of the north gusting again, 20, 25 miles per hour. So we definitely see a few windy events ahead of some of these fronts, but this week, we're not getting rain on the cold fronts. It's mostly dry fronts, which is nice because we've had a lot of snow melting, so most of the ground is pretty muddy, and so extra rain is maybe not so great right now, but the next chance of rain isn't until next week.
I don't think you're going to find many people complaining about this weather.
Oh, I'm definitely not going to.
It's far cry from what we had a week ago. Thanks. Still ahead, Fort Scott girls basketball hosts Labette County in a top 10 matchup. And Pitt State baseball tries to improve to 10-0. John Dales has those stories and more. It's coming up next in sports.
April 30th, 2025.
Hey, welcome into sports. I'm John Dales. Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern baseball both swept doubleheaders yesterday while facing MIAA competition for the first time this season. And this afternoon, both the Gorillas and the Lions try to finish off a series sweep. Third and final game of the series between Pitt State and Emporia State. Gorillas in some trouble early. They're already trailing 4-0 in the top of the third. Bases loaded. And that's former Frontenac Raider Logan Myers who gets all of this pitch. That's gone for a grand slam. And the Hornets open up an 8-0 lead. A lot of ball game left though. Bottom of the inning, runner on base, and Ricky Sanchez pokes one the other way. That falls in for a base hit. The next batter is Dagan Brewer, and he crushes one to right field. That's over the right fielder's head and over the fence for a 3-run homer. Just like that, the Gorillas claw a little bit closer. We're still in the bottom of the third. Josh Holmes singles into shallow right. 2 more runs are going to come in to score. Just like that, the score is now 8-5. But Emporia scores 3 more runs in the top of the 6th. 2 of them off this home run from Dominic Felix. Gorillas pick up their first loss of the 2025 baseball season. Final score 11-7. Meanwhile, 13th ranked Missouri Southern baseball crushes Northwest Missouri 16-3 this afternoon. Will Doherty hits 2 home runs, racks up 5 RBI. Lions have won 4 in a row. They head to Topeka this coming Friday to take on Washburn. And moving over to college softball, Pittsburgh State is coming off a Sunday doubleheader where it won both games, but thanks to the Gorillas starting pitching, Ava Laurent and Aiden Brown throwing no-hitters in consecutive games. Now Pittsburgh State goes 3-0 at the Washburn Invitational in Topeka. Gorillas take care of Concordia St. Paul 6-2 this afternoon. PSU's won 3 in a row, improves its record to 9-3, and is off until the Top Gun invite in Shawnee. That's this Friday. Moving over to Kansas high school basketball, this is the final week of the regular season. We get it started with the top 10 matchup between a couple of SEK teams. The Fort Scott girls, who are ranked 5th in Class 4A, they're at home tonight taking on Labette County. The Lady Grizzlies are ranked 6th in 4A. This is the second meeting of the year between these two. Lady Tigers won the first. That was a couple of weeks ago. This one just tipped off at 6. I'll give you a final score update later tonight at 9 and 10. Some high school football news today as well. The Kansas Shrine Bowl announces 10 players that get added to the rosters for this year's East-West All-Star Game. One of those is Frontenac High School senior and Pittsburgh State signee, Jaden Houghton. The Raider tight end joins the East All-Star team. He's our 7th local player to receive an invite. The game will be played in Dodge City on June 21st. Always fun for players to participate in that game. A little bit different playing in June football, but just to get an invite, it means a lot.
Playing with some of the other best players in the state.
Yeah,
to meet a lot of people. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. As wedding planning season ramps up, the Better Business Bureau advises you to research vendors carefully. We're going to tell you what to look out for. Plus, it's nearly time of year for us to get some gardens started. We have some tips to get your garden seedlings started right now. And Joplin breaks ground on a new bike park. Those stories, a lot more, it's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Abundant Hope, a local faith-based organization in Grove, Oklahoma, partnered with the health department today. The organization is on a mission to help empower and educate families towards self-sufficiency. Their main focuses are supporting families in crisis, pregnancy, and foster care. Spokesperson says it's a crucial asset to a community struggling with homelessness.
We have the health department here today, and that happens twice a month. A rise that we have seen in our community is the homelessness, and they have figured out where we are, and so they will walk to us, and then we help them. If they don't have a place to stay tonight, we work with our local police department and other resources that can transport them to shelters.
McCorkle says this is their first year at this location. She says she needed more space because of the need of the community. Beautiful day out there, Lindsay, and more ahead of us.
Oh yeah, tomorrow temperatures getting up to nearly 70, 71 degrees, sunny until clouds roll in late. We're going to have a few morning showers on Wednesday, though not a big disruption to your morning commute, and then we're back to nice weather after that.
Can't beat it, really. Final sports note.
The quarterback sneak, tush push, popularized by the Philadelphia Eagles, could be on its way out from the NFL. The Athletic reports today that the Green Bay Packers submit a proposal to ban the play to the NFL's competition committee.
You can bet that the Philadelphia Eagles will not be supporting that ban.
I think so.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.